Let's make Julia Child's chocolate souffle.
If you've been watching Julia on HBO Max, I know two things about you. One, you've fallen in love with Julia all over again. And two, you want to learn how to make her chocolate souffle. I'm here to help you do that. First, prepare your oven by raising or removing the top rack and preheat it to 425 degrees. Fill a large saucepan with about a half an inch of water. Then, in a second smaller pan, or a double boiler, put 7 ounces of 72% chocolate and pour in 1/3 of a cup of very strong coffee. Place a lid on the top pan and heat up the water in the bottom pan until it comes to a simmer, and then remove it from the heat and set aside so that it can melt. Coat a 2-quart souffle dish with 1½ teaspoons of butter. Why that exact amount? I have no idea. It's Julia's world, we're just living in it. And then prop some foil around the edges and butter it as well so that there's enough room for your souffle to rise. Pull out yet another saucepan and then place 1/3 of a cup of flour in it. Whisk in 2 cups of cold milk. After the milk is completely mixed with the flour, then add 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter and turn the heat on to medium. The butter will melt and your sauce will come to a boil. Cook it for 2 minutes while whisking. Then remove it from the heat and whisk for another minute while it cools a bit. Now we're going to add our 4 egg yolks, one at a time, meaning you whisk one in completely, and then when that's done, add the next. Do this until all 4 egg yolks have been mixed in. And finally, add a tablespoon of vanilla. Remove the lid from your chocolate. Whisk it until it's shiny and smooth. Then add it to your cream sauce. Whip it nay-nay until everything comes together, and then set aside for a moment. Place 6 egg whites and 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt in an electric mixing bowl. Using the whisk attachment, whisk until they reach soft peaks. Then sprinkle in a half a cup of sugar while you whisk it again for it to become stiff peaks. Some signs that you've mixed it enough are that your egg whites will be very white and very shiny, and of course, very stiff. That's what she said. And now for the folding. Don't be scared, you've got this. Pour the chocolate mixture into the egg whites. Use the spatula to fold them together. This is done by very gently pulling the spatula down the center of the mixture and then swooping around. Continue to do this process until there are no more white streaks. Slow and easy wins this race. When there's no more white streaks, pour the souffle batter into the prepared souffle baking dish. Place it on the bottom rack of the oven. Turn the oven down immediately to 375 degrees. Bake for 40 minutes and sprinkle your souffle with powdered sugar. Then bake another 5 to 10 minutes, or until it's slightly wobbly and has a crack on the top. If you poke a skewer in it, it will come out slightly coated or nearly clean. When it's cool enough to touch, very carefully and slowly remove the foil. Look at that wobble. Shut up! If serving hot out of the oven, be sure to prepare your ice cream or whipped cream ahead of time so you can just add it to your plate.
Your souffle will be tastiest when it's cooled, but it will be the prettiest when it's served hot. Bon appetit!